Hi, welcome back. So today I am here with my November book haul for you, and this does include a book outlet order. So I will unbox that and show you guys what I picked up. I actually think I did pretty good this month. I feel like my haul was a little bit smaller, at least in terms of books that I purchased myself. I do have some books to show you guys from publishers, and I also have some wonderful friends who sent me books, which was very sweet of them and unexpected. As usual, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the books that were sent to me by publishers, and then we'll move on from there. So yeah. I'm like very excited about some of the books that I have this month. All right, so the most recent book that I got was sent to me from Little Bird Publicity, and this is a book that I have for review, and I'm going to be reading it and reviewing it a little bit closer to the publication date. This is The Best of Us by Robin Carr. This one is coming out in January, and I have never read anything by Robin Carr. I know she is a big best-selling author. She does kind of adult romance slash women's fiction, and this sounded really great. So this one is more of a women's fiction book, I would say, and it's supposed to be humorous and character driven, and it just sounds really great, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up. Thank you for sending that to me. And then I also have 3 books that I was sent to by the Harlequin publicity team for an Instagram promotion. And these are the last of the books that were part of their holiday tour. So I have lots of really fun Christmas books that they sent me. So I have 3 to show you guys today. The first one is called Season of Wonder by Rayanne Thane. This book is beautiful, you guys. It's got like deckled edges, and I don't know if this shows up on camera, but there's like glitter on the book. It's real pretty. This sounds really great. It is a Christmas romance novel about a divorced mom whose ex-husband recently died in some really terrible way, and so her and her daughters have moved to a small town where she is looking to kind of get a new start to their life, and she starts working at a veterinarian's office, and of course there is a romance that blossoms. So I'm really looking forward to picking up this one. It sounds just really sweet. Then we have A Tall Dark Cowboy Christmas by Maisie Yates. This just sounds like a really fun, sweet Christmas romance. It involves a cowboy who is a grieving widower and a young woman who has come to town searching for her birth father. And then the final book that they sent is called Snowfall on Lighthouse Lane by Joanne Ross. All of these covers, you guys, I'm just loving. They're giving me such holiday vibes, which, you know, I thought we would go with the holiday theme today. I was gonna maybe do like a red scarf. Maybe I'll do that in the next video. This is a heartwarming Christmas romance story set in the Pacific Northwest, and I've just heard really good things about it. So thank you so much to Harlequin for sending me all of those. There are beautiful pictures of them up on my Instagram, which is what they sent them to me for, but I'm also really looking forward to picking some of them up as we head into the holiday season. All right. Next, let's talk about books that were given to me by some wonderful friends. I have 2 friends that gave me books this month, which was so sweet. First up, Karen from Run Right Reads is a fellow New Yorker and a fellow booktuber, and so we've met up a couple of times, and when we met up recently, she brought me a book, which was really sweet of her. This is called The Dinner by Herman Koch, and I have heard really good things about this book. It is literary fiction, but I think it's a little bit twisty. It is about 2 sets of parents who are having dinner together, but their sons did something and they're confronting it, and so there's all these like secrets and stuff. I don't know. I've heard really good things about it. Also, it's a work of translated fiction, which is cool. So she read it recently and really loved it and gave me a copy. So thank you so much, Karen. Go check out her channel. I will, of course, link her below. And then my wonderful friend Mara over at Books Like Whoa also has a fantastic channel, and she sent me a couple of books this month. One of them was an ebook, which I'll put a picture here. I like started it and haven't gotten to it yet because I've been reading so many other things this month, but it does sound really fun. It's like a light contemporary romance involving theater. I can't remember the title, so like I said, I'll try to remember to put a picture here. She also sent me The Duchess War by Courtney Milan, and I know that she really likes this author. I haven't read her, and she thinks that I will be into it, so I'm really looking forward to it. I do like historical romance. It involves a wallflower and a duke, and I know that there's some feminist things to this book, and she really loves it, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up hopefully soon. So thank you for that. And then this I'm also excited about. She knows like what my taste is, and she also is always like proselytizing for romance, so thank you for getting me into it. I do enjoy some of it. But the other book that she sent me, I know she read and really loved, and it also sounds right up my alley. This is Eloquent Rage, A Black Feminist Discovers Her Superpower by Brittany Cooper. And so this is nonfiction. It is a memoir about feminism and intersectional feminism, and you guys know this is like ticks a lot of my boxes, I am into things about feminism, I am into things about dealing with race in America, so I am very much looking forward to picking this up. So thank you so much, Tamara. Definitely go check her channel out as well. I have wonderful friends. I also have a couple of books that are more like spiritual books that I picked up at church recently, and one of them is a book that I never actually finished reading, but I've wanted to, and so this seemed like maybe a good opportunity. This is called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I really love C.S. Lewis. I like his fiction, I like a lot of his nonfiction, but I haven't read as much of his nonfiction as I would like to, and I know that this is a classic in Christian literature, so I'm really interested to revisit this, finish reading it. I did read part of it years ago, but at this point in my life it would be interesting to kind of revisit this. So it's also just like a really beautiful edition of it. I love these editions. So yeah, so I'm excited to have that. And then the other thing that I have is called Traveling Mercies by Anne Lamott, Some Thoughts on Faith. And this just sounded really interesting. This blurb kind of got me. It says, Anne Lamott is walking proof that a person can be both reverent and irreverent in the same lifetime, sometimes even in the same breath. A personal account of faith and spirituality that's supposed to be funny and kind of raw, and so that just sounds really appealing to me right now. So I'm interested in dipping into this as well. I would like to get a little bit more spiritual literature into my life occasionally, and so those both seemed like great options. All right, moving on to the other books that I purchased, and then finally we will do the book outlet order. One other thing to note, there are a few books that I have recently bought that will not be included in this book haul because I can't show them to you because I'm using them for a secret video that I'm filming, which is probably going to take me like a couple months to finish because life is busy around the holidays, but I'm very excited about it when it eventually is done. So there was a book in the book outlet order that was for that, so I took that out of it. And then there were some others, but you're just gonna have to wait and see what that is. I think almost all of these are from the Strand, which is my local independent bookstore in New York City, and it is wonderful if you ever visit the city. Definitely go check out the Strand, it's great. There's only one that is not from there, and yeah, so I'll get to that. So first up, I have a couple of mass market paperbacks that I picked up for 50 cents. Sometimes they have really inexpensive books outside the store, and it's a little hit and miss, but sometimes you can find some real gems. So I found Goddess of the Hunt by Tessa Dare. I have been enjoying Tessa Dare as an adult romance author, and so when I saw this for 50 cents, I thought I would pick it up. So this just sounds like fun. It's about a young woman who decides that she should go husband hunting, but she needs practice. So she decides to practice on, I think, her brother's best friend. But of course, you know, I think like a romance starts to develop between the two of them. So yeah, it just sounds like a lot of fun. And then also for 50 cents, I picked up a book in a series that I want to read, and so when I see books in the series, I'm just kind of like picking them up if I see them for super cheap. This is Blaze of Memory by Nalini Singh. This is a Cy Changeling novel. I know, guys, there are like a couple of series that I keep saying I want to read and like don't get around to, and this is one of them. I own book one, I want to read book one. This is like book 8 or something, I think. I don't know, what book is this? 7? Yeah, so this is book 7 in the series, but it was 50 cents, so now I have it. Oh, you know what? This actually also was not, this one was actually from a Goodwill. Yes. So for $1, I found a copy of Stormdancer by Jay Kristoff. This is his earliest series, the Lotus War series. I haven't heard much about it, to be honest. I know that it is some kind of a Japanese-inspired adult fantasy series, and I have been loving Jay Kristoff, so I thought it'd be worth giving a try. It's not like in perfect condition, but it was only $1, and so, and Patrick Rothfuss blurbed it, who I really love, so that's promising. He says, "What's that? You say you've got a Japanese steampunk novel with mythic creatures, civil unrest, and a strong female protagonist? I'm afraid I've missed everything you said after Japanese steampunk." That's all I really needed to hear. That's kind of funny. So yeah, I'm definitely want to give this a try. So I have that. While I'm waiting for another year for the final book of the Nevernight Chronicles, there's another thing of his I could read. Also, I saw this for $1. I've not read anything else by this author, so I don't know why I picked this up. Maybe to urge myself to try reading her books, but this is Star-Touched Stories by Roshani Chokshi, and she is the author of Star-Touched Queen, which I have heard really good things about. I know that it is YA fantasy, and I want to say it's like Indian inspired or Middle Eastern inspired, and I know there are some people who really loved it. I have not picked it up. If you guys have tried it, let me know if it's good, but I saw the short story collection for $1, so I was like, well, let me get that and maybe I'll like actually read her books. Okay, moving on. I have a couple more sort of random things to show you, and then I have stuff that I'm actually like very excited to have, and then I have my book outlet order. So first I have a nonfiction book that I saw for $1, and this just looked really interesting to me. This is called Below Stairs, the classic kitchen maid's memoir that inspired Upstairs, Downstairs, and Downton Abbey. This is by Margaret Powell. So it is a memoir of a kitchen maid, and I loved Downton Abbey, so I think it's really interesting. I'd be curious to read a memoir by somebody who actually lived through this, and it looks like it's a reprint of it. It's also pretty short, so yeah, it's only like 200 pages, but it just sounds really fascinating. So let me know if anybody would want to buddy read this one with me, actually, because I think this would be kind of an interesting one to buddy read. And then finally, for like $2, I found a perfect condition copy of Giant Days. This is a novelization of a graphic novel series that I've read the first like 3 volumes of and really enjoyed. It's about 3 friends in their first year in college and kind of the things that they go through, and it's got some queer representation. It's just a great book about like female friendship. The graphic novel, oh, it's so pretty. Look at that, guys. Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, hopefully it's good. Like I said, the graphic novel is really good. I don't know what the novelization will be like, but I'm hopeful that this will be fun. All right, moving on. I have 3 more books and then my book outlet order, and I am like super excited about all of these. First of all, this was definitely an anticipated read of mine. I got Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is his new YA sci-fi series about a girl who wants to be like a pilot or a space pilot or something. I don't know. I've been hearing really good things about it. I've been meaning to pick it up. Oh, look, the purple end pages. It's so pretty. And then I don't know if you probably can't see this, but it's got like an imprint here with some kind of, it says Defiant DDF, so it's some kind of like an insignia. Ugh, it's so pretty. I'm really looking forward to this. People have been reading it. I've been hearing good things. I want to get to it hopefully soon. So I picked that up. I did find a half-price copy at the Strand, which was very exciting. So it only cost me like $9.50, which was wonderful. And then also, guys, my favorite adult historical fiction author. I don't read a ton of historical fiction, but I have read everything except for her newest book by Kate Morton. This is The Clockmaker's Daughter. I do have an arc of it. I have not gotten to the arc. Here is my signed and personalized arc that I got at BookCon, but I've like not been able to get to it, but it's out. I had to own it. I own all of her books. Like, she's one of my auto buy authors, which I don't have that many of them, but I own all of her books, and this is just gorgeous. And she just writes, oh, it's so pretty. It's like green. Oh my goodness. And it's got a map. I'm so excited. I've heard fantastic things about it. All of her books I love. All of her books I love. She writes these sweeping historical fictions that will be stories that follow different characters during different time periods, and then eventually all of their stuff intersects. So I really, really want to read this. I would love to buddy read this with somebody. So if you like historical fiction, you're interested in reading this with me, please let me know. I was really excited. I had been on a waiting list for a half-price copy of the finished one, so I got this for $13, which was wonderful. I'm very, very happy to have it. All right, and then the last book I want to show you before we get into my book outlet unboxing is, of course, Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I did pick this up at the Kingdom of Ash event that I went to, so if you haven't yet seen my vlog of that, I did vlog the entire thing, and it's now like the 2nd most watched video on my channel, so it's been amazing how that's taken off. It's been really cool. But yes, so this is beautiful. I know not everyone loves it, but I kind of like it. It's like gold. It's very pretty. And then you have her printed signature on here. It's really beautiful. I know some of the special editions have like artwork inside. That wasn't what they gave us at the event. So, but yeah, it's cool. And it's a really beautiful book. Oh yeah, and also signed, this is the 2018 World Tour edition, so it has the special extra page because we did get it at the World Tour, and it is signed. And then we also have like a stamp signed thing on here that you could do. So it's double signed, guys. I have a double signed Kingdom of Ash book, which is very exciting. This thing is enormous. It's basically 1,000 pages and has very small, thin pages. So yes, this will be happening sometime relatively soon, hopefully. I need to listen to Tower of Dawn, which is happening soon. And then, whew, let me know if you want me to vlog that. That'd be a thing. Let's get into the book outlet box. If you guys are not familiar with Book Outlet, maybe that's good. It's dangerous, but you can get really low priced books there. And so I try not to buy from them too often, but this actually was all started, I blame entirely on the book that I needed for this project that I'm working on, which you're not going to see here, but you know, you get free shipping at $35, which is a big incentive to get $35 worth of books. And I did. I seem to have lost my invoice, so I can't tell you exactly how much these were, but they were, I'll try to remember. I'll have like some idea, so hold on a second. So the first book that I want to show you comes with a bit of a sad story, actually. If you guys have been following me for a while, you might know that about a year ago, I went to a launch for The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, and I got beautiful signed copies of The Hazelwood and The Cruel Prince, and it was just great. And then I took a taxi home, and I left my bag with my signed books and a couple of my favorite book sleeves in the taxi and was unable to retrieve them. It has now been almost a year, so I'm mostly over it, but it was like really, really sad at the time. And so, yeah, it was a whole thing. It was pretty awful. My husband was like, well, can't you just get more books? I'm like, you don't understand. They're like signed and personalized copies. You don't get it. But, so yeah, so that happened. I'm mostly over it at this point, and I finally decided to repurchase The Hazelwood because it was one of my favorite books of the year. I really loved it. This is a polarizing book. Also, it's just really beautiful, and so I'm happy to finally have a copy. Melissa Albert is a New Yorker. I see her at events, so I'm sure I'll be able to get this signed again at some point. But guys, the end papers are just, they're just stunning. It's a really, really beautiful book, and I think inside it works for me really well. It is kind of a dark fairy tale. It's a combination of urban fantasy and portal fantasy. And some people don't like that. Some people don't like the main character. She's like one of those unlikable female characters. I love her. I loved this book. I would like to reread it at some point. I think it's beautiful. It's a really impressive debut novel. It's not for everyone, but I really loved it. The only sad thing is, you know, I mean, it was like $5, but there's like some damage to the back of it. But it's okay. So I'm really happy to have this in my collection again after my like sad, sad story. Then for something like $3, I think they had a paperback copy of a book that I've heard talked about by Mackenzie Lee, actually, author of Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and it sounded really interesting. And then I got it, and I found out from Leanna that it was one of her favorite books last year, so I'm like, well, I guess I made a good choice. This is A Madness So Discreet by Mindy McGinnis. And it is historical fiction slash mystery, and it's about a young woman who is put into a mental asylum for getting pregnant as an unmarried woman, because that was a thing that happened back in the day. And then she ends up from the inside trying to catch a like a serial killer that's inside of the asylum, something like that. So it's a combination of like historical fiction, psychological thriller, and mystery. So I've heard really good things about it, and I'm looking forward to it. So I found that for like $3, I think. And then also for like $2 or $3, they had a copy of the first book in a series that I've been curious about. So let me know if you guys have any thoughts on this. This is The Novice by Taryn Mathari. This is book 1 in the Summoner series, and it looks like it would be up my alley. It is like a YA fantasy novel with a blacksmith's apprentice who discovers that he can summon demons from another world. So like, that sounds really cool. I know it's a pretty long series. It's been a New York Times bestseller, so I would like to try it. Let me know if you have tried it and if you liked it. Then, because they finally had this on sale for like $3, I got the edition that I wanted of The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. I want to collect all of these in the paperback versions of this edition because I think it's really pretty. And I love the series, so I have read this. I actually listened to it on audiobook, but I'm very happy to have this in my possession. So now the only one that I don't have is the newest one. I'm waiting for the paperback to go on sale for cheap, and then I'll pick that one up too. Next, for I think this was like maybe $4, they had This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I've been really loving Victoria Schwab this year. I love her writing. I think she does really interesting things, unique world building, unique plots. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna like this series in particular. I think if I didn't love her writing so much, it's probably not something that I would be super drawn to. This is the Monsters of Severity series, but I've I'm curious to see how I feel about it, so I thought I would pick it up because it was super cheap on Book Outlet. Then you guys might know that I have been dipping my feet more and more into adult romance, and I have found a few authors that I really enjoy and some authors that I've been wanting to try. So I have 3 adult romance novels that I picked up, and all of them were really inexpensive, something like $1 or $2. The first one is by an author that I've been wanting to try out. I know she's a really big deal in the genre. This is Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. She is a Black woman author in romance who I know is wildly popular. I've not read anything by her, and I now own a couple books by her, so I'm hoping to pick something up by her soon. This one is set in the Old West, and I think it involves an interracial romance, I'm guessing, from the front cover, so I have that. I also have books from 2 of my other historical fiction authors that I've really been liking. I've got Do You Want to Start a Scandal by Tessa Dare. Some of her writing is really funny, and I've heard great things about this book in particular. It's sort of like adult romance meets Clue. So instead of there being a murder mystery, there's a scandal mystery, and it just sounds really funny. This is what it says. On the night of the Parkhurst ball, someone had a scandalous tryst in the library. Was it Lord Candy with the maid on the divan, or Miss Fairchild with a rake against the wall? Perhaps the butler did it. So it just sounds like light and funny and entertaining. So I picked that one up. And then finally, I also really have been liking Eloisa James. I picked up a copy of My American Duchess. So she writes historical fiction. This one involves an American woman who has run away from a wedding and a duke who I think needs to marry money for some reason, and I don't know. It sounds fun. So yeah, so those are the 3 romance books that I picked up. 2 more books left to show you. One is a really beautiful edition of a nonfiction book, and this is an author that I've been curious to try ever since I heard her talked about on, whose channel was it? Claire Reads Books really likes this author, and so I've been interested. So I saw this really pretty edition for like $5. This is Slouching Towards Bethlehem, Essays by Joan Didion. These are the Picador Modern Classics. They're these really beautiful like watercolor editions, so it was really pretty for one thing. But also I've been wanting to try her. I've heard really great things about her, and it's this nice little edition of some essays, nonfiction essays. So I thought this might be a good introductory way to try her out. And then the final book in the order was one that I mostly added in to get free shipping. I think I was like less than $1 away, and so I needed something that was 99 cents. This was 99 cents and it looked cute. So this is Death Overdue by Mary Lou Kerwin, author of Killer Librarian. So yes, this is a cozy mystery set in a library, and it just looks very cute and fun. And yeah, cozy mysteries are fun. I've read one of them. I own a bunch because they just all sound adorable, and Courtney at the Protagonist makes them sound so wonderful. So I want to actually read more of them. So yeah, pick that up. So there you go. Those are all of the books in my book haul for November. I feel like I did pretty well actually in terms of limiting what I purchased. Other than Book Outlet order, I mean, the Book Outlet order was one thing, but other than that, like, I think I did a pretty good job this month. So talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys are interested in buddy reading any of these with me, any of your thoughts on these books. I know I had some like questions that I asked throughout it. Let's see, and what else? Question of the day. Tell me which of these books you would be most excited to read, or that you have read and are most excited to see me read. That's what I would love to hear from you. Talk to me in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.